All right, welcome everybody to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. We will move right into the crypto bubbles. Give me a second to get everything where I need it. And man, from show to show, it comes up fast. I feel like I was just doing the show, even though I had a day off. Look, Motivation Hero in the house. What is up? Says, hello, happy, strong family. Wish you all stay strong and motivated, as your name would suggest. Thank you very much for being here. We're just kicking off the show right now. We're just getting started. Bam, and there we are over on the crypto bubbles. Shout out to anybody who is here. Throw something in the chat. Let me know you're here on a Monday, right? Deep diving with your boy. All right, so we will get into all kinds of research and all of that fun stuff, but first and foremost, let's jump right into the crypto bubbles. We have 18.1% for Pippin today. Let's see what else is up, something decent. Of course, this BCH, or Bitcoin Cash, is down 8.6%. Hype is down 5.6%. Kite, which we've been talking quite a bit about lately, down 4%. Pump.fun is down 4.4%. Share the love and strong vibes. Thank you so much. You too, legend. Hey, thank you. Appreciate you, man. Where was I? Sorry. Arbitrum just up 5.9%. So it seems like overall most things are up 5 or 6%. And if we drop down this little list here, you'll see kind of the average for per 100. So top 100, 0.65%. Not 65%, but 0.65%, right? Less than 1%. And then so on and so forth. Let's drop down another 100 and see what is going on there. We got River up 16.5%. What did it make it back to? Almost 9. Oh, it made it as high as $9.50. And before it kind of fell back down, up 16.5% on the day. We got Hex. Means Pulse should be around here somewhere, right? Anybody see Pulse? I don't see it. Usually they pump together. Sentient up 14.6%. We've talked a lot about this coin. Cow up 8%. Cow Protocol. We've talked quite a bit about that. Then you have DXE. What is it? DXE? I'm going to call it that. It sounds good to me. 13.1%. And Humanity being the biggest loser in the 100 to 200. Down 18.1%. Synthetics, Fartcoin, all taking a little bit of a dip today. 200 to 300. Power Protocol staying relevant. Power Protocol, I never know when a project like Power Protocol shows up, how well they're going to do, but it's hanging around. It's staying trending. They're doing something right. 18.1% on the day. SXT, or Space and Time, up 15.7% today. MYX down 18.5%. The Islam coin down 8%, and Aztec down 7.8%. Fogo, and we're still doing our Fogo fish mining, 12.9%. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll tell you. Look at that, just populated. Rave took a huge fall. What is this thing, Rug? From 68 cents down to 28 cents. It is down 57.6% today. What happened there? I'm not sure. And we only usually roll through the top, 300 here. Let's hop over and do our rundown of the prices. Bitcoin at $64,385. Where are my people at? Where's Blues Guy? Blues Guy, are you here? If you're here, throw something in the chat so I can see. I know that Motivation Hero's here, and I know I saw Camsta's here. Okay, so Bitcoin again is $64,385. We usually do a quick rundown of like your top, 20 or 30 coins by market cap. Ethereum, $1,848. XRP, $1.36. It is down 8.9% in the last 7 days. BNB, $599. Let's call it $600 for BNB. Solana, that's what I thought I was saying. I got it mixed up. Solana, $78, down 9.9%. Dogecoin at almost a flat 9 cents there. It's been ranging between 9 and 10 cents, and it is down 7.8% in the last 7 days. Get through a few of these stable coins and wrapped assets. Cardano at 26 cents. It is down 8.1% in the last 7 days. Hyperliquid, $26.34. Hyperliquid's down 15.6% in the last 7 days. So a lot of red on the 7 days, right? Canton Network actually is up 1.8%. Canton Network has looked pretty strong. I've seen other people point it out, including the Lifer, that Canton seems to be a strong project right now. Chainlink, $8.29. Monero, $307. Rain, I don't ever talk about it. Prediction market. It's funny how much things move around. I'm so used to them being like in the same order. HBAR, 9.5 cents. Litecoin, $51.79. Avalanche, $8.42. And SWE, where I usually end here, at 88 cents, down 11% in the last 7 days. Then let's see where Flare's at for my blues guy. For the blues guy, the king of Flare out there, it's still chilling at 76. Pippin is unbelievable, though. What is going on? How is it sustaining this pump? That's always a great question. It's the only thing pumping. Yeah, Pippin does seem to be in its little, in its little micro ranges, right? And then sometimes it's just really strong, and then it'll turn around and give it all back. We'll be looking at it as one of the top losers in probably 4 or 5 days from now. The harder the pump, the more it pulls back. All right, so as we always do, let's take a look at what is trending out here in the world of crypto. Of course, Bitcoin. Pudgy Penguins, I pointed out almost every day. Pudgy Penguins is trending almost every day. One of the strongest NFT projects still around besides the Bored Ape Yacht Club. But they're definitely number one with in-store products. They're crushing it for an NFT project, what they started out as. All right, Solana, BitTensor, Monad, USD1, River, XRP, Espresso, Ethereum, Zcash, Chainlink, Optimism, Caspa, and Aerodrome. Don't see a lot of like new coins that I think are really worth clicking on and going over. I mean, most people should know what River is, or BitTensor, Monad, Espresso. I guess we could read the description on Espresso real quick. Espresso is 10 cents. Think modular blockchain. It's got an Ethereum contract and an Arbitrum 1 contract. Let's see what categories they give it. Roll up as a service, or ROS. That's pretty much the only significant one here. And it'll probably come up over on Crypto Rank. So we'll talk about that there. Let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed Index is at 8. Let's make it big. Let's see what it was yesterday, since I didn't do a show. Yesterday it was at 5. So yeah, yesterday it was at 5. It's moved up to 8. So is that a positive thing? 7 days ago it was at 10. A month ago it was at 25. These are some extreme fear times for crypto and the prices. All right, let's go back to Crypto Rank here, and let's go look at the trending coins. They have changed it up on me a little bit. Let's make it so we see the top 20 and not just the top 10. Cool. So Superform has kind of stayed at the top of this trending list. It is a yield, a yield aggregate where you can go and you can provide liquidity to gain some yield. I mean, it could be through staking. It can be through all kinds. It could be through pools. But relatively, it's all the same idea. You provide capital. They give you a piece of what they make off of your capital. So then you have INSO. Let's click on that real quick. INSO is a blockchain shortcut. Your way to build and launch on chain. So if you're trying to really get something done, you're trying to build or develop something, INSO says they've got you covered. That is the idea here. Let me hit the drink so that we can kick this show off. All right, so INSO has a market cap of 40.7 million. It's been as high as 80.5 million. Not a huge difference there, so that doesn't seem so bad. Let's go back on the daily to when this thing came out. Looks like the 14th of October 2025, and then it kind of fell way down, and then all of a sudden it popped. It has some relevance, and it looks like it almost looks like it's starting to go on a little bit of a tear here, like like it flagged out here, maybe something like that. It's my lifer vision going on, and bang. And I mean, it don't lie, it did that, right? Hasn't quite hit the measured move, which is basically the top of this previous candle here, maybe just slightly above that. So it looks like it could get up to about $2.46. That's cool. If you're into this project, I'm not super into it, but I get its use case, right? I get why somebody would be into this project. Let's go check out their website real quick. Again, this is INSO. If you're just now tuning in, smash that like button and subscribe. There's a link to our free Discord in the chat where we hang out when we are not live. Blockchain shortcuts to build your own tools, dashboards, you name it. Anything that you're looking to build on blockchain. Launch an app today. I mean, you guys get the idea, right? Do I have to go through and show you how to build an app and launch it? I don't think so. I think you guys get it. All right, now let's see what else we got going on. What is trending over on Crypto Rank? Espresso. And I wanted to touch on it over here because they give you like a nice description, and I think that'll help most of you guys here. Espresso Systems emerges as an EVM, Ethereum virtual machine, compatible blockchain, offering scaling and privacy solutions for Web3 applications. There you go. And where is it at? So 53.0. I was going to say 53.5. Okay, it's just 53 million, and its all-time high is 57 million. It looks pretty healthy. Espresso had been around for a little while before they had a token generation event, or put the token out to put it in plain language here, and it looks like it's been up and to the right. So it says the 12th of February 2026. I like where the market cap is and the all-time market cap. 24-hour trading volume's 124 million, which at this time in crypto is pretty good, in my opinion. If you were at the top of the bear market, that would probably be terrible 24-hour trading volume. But where we are right now, being very relevant to the conversation, 123.6 million is really not bad. And let's go check out their Twitter, right? Because we want to go see how much attention they get over on Twitter. And we'll do this quickly. We won't spend too much time on it. 161.2 thousand followers, right? See, do they have a membership? A members only kind of thing? No, they do not. Pin post is from October 30th, 2025 with 139,000 likes. And they're talking about the Espresso Vision. I think the Espresso Vision might be actually worth talking about, right? So have you ever tried to send money abroad, paid a $30 fee, and still found yourself waiting days in uncertainty about whether it will arrive? Have you ever tried to pay back a friend for dinner? I mean, this is like Cash App stuff, right? PayPal. All right. You're the victim of friction of finance. What it sounds like to me is kind of the exact same use case as XRP, but maybe they have a different way of going about it. These aren't isolated frustrations. They are symptoms of fractured systems, right? They're symptoms of fractured systems. Our money is trapped and siloed across different geographies, banks, and applications. And this is what looks like Espresso is looking to solve. Of course, there are other projects, XLM, XRP. There are some other projects in this, competing in this same territory there. All right. And last but not least, let's go check out their website here. So the base layer for rollups. And what are rollups, right? What are optimistic rollups? What are zero knowledge rollups? If you don't know what those things mean, you might want to raise your crypto IQ, and I am here to help. I'm here to help you. We go over a different topic every day. There's a series every week where we try to tie it all together, right? And we usually start with a short story that puts what we're trying to learn today in a story type format, just to kind of set the foundation and give you an idea. And then we have our talking points of the day where we really try to raise that crypto IQ. Blues guy in the house, thank you for being here. He says in the house. Great to see you, Underground, my man. Blessings and gratitude, everybody on the live. Much appreciation, Underground. Back at you. Thank you for being here, man. It's always good to see when you arrive to the stream. All right. So you have real-time finality, cross-chain composability, and in Ethereum capability or compatibility, right? So this is EVM type stuff. And real-time finality is something that I am seeing pop up a lot more, which is basically where things are executing and finishing, like the whole process from the time you click in your MetaMask wallet or whatever wallet or wherever you're doing some kind of blockchain transaction. From the minute you click go to the minute it is final and it's actually updated on the blockchain, right? That's finality, right? When it's finally minted, some people would call it, right? And so to have real-time finality means almost instant finality, right? You hear the term real-time blockchain is another way that it's said. So what rollups have always needed but never had, right? So they're really giving you their use case and the problem that they're fixing. Again, another thing that we really talk about here in Underground Crypto is, of course, raising your crypto IQ, but a big part of that is to really understand why certain things are the way they are, right? How they've evolved cycle over cycle. Rollups is one of those things. So rollups, I'm just going to read right from the page, right, before I say what it was that I wanted to say. Rollups rely on infrastructure that wasn't made with them in mind. Slow settlement, siloed sequencer, siloed meaning isolated, and limited composability. Espresso is purpose-built, so it's very, specifically built for one application for rollups, not repurposed for a legacy system, so chains can focus on building user experience that drives real adoption, not just compete for fragmented liquidity. All right, Crisco says 333, my fellow lifer, welcome in. Plague Dogs in the house says espresso is my favorite. I always get an extra shot. Hey, Plague Dogs, I'm with you on that one. I only drink espresso, and that's not like some fancy high dollar stuff. I just I want the coffee effect and the energy quickly, and I don't want to drink 5 cups of coffee a day because I don't have time for that. Anyways, espresso is, I don't know. What was the point of naming it espresso? Am I missing a connection here? Anyways, speed and security, composability, customizability, and compatibility, all things you definitely need. Now, what is a rollup? Throw a 111 in the chat if you don't really know what a roll-up is. Anybody have any idea what a roll-up is? And that's espresso. We will be talking about it, I'm sure, for weeks, as we already have been talking about it for weeks. And it stays trending. It stays relevant. Conway Research. Triple espresso. Exactly. So Conway Research is a meme token. That's what you really want from your research development teams is you want just them to be a pump.fun meme coin. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, Conway, I'll stop messing around. Conway Research is a meme token on the base. On the base? That's a weird way to say that. Dedicated to AI lab, given AI right access to the real world. This thing seems like it was written by an AI, to be honest with you. What's up with that? All right, so they have something to do with AI. Probably, okay, so I thought that's what they meant. Token on the base. I mean, they're saying they're on the base blockchain. Again, this description seems like it was written by AI, right? And let's go ahead and open this up. So, base ecosystem, base blockchain, it's a meme coin. Tags that they give it, right? Agentic swarm. Man, when I start seeing terms like agentic swarm, I have so many things that I want to say, and I don't know if you guys understand the importance of agentic swarm. And then you got Clanker, right? So Clanker is something that we talk about a lot as well. Somebody remind me to talk about Clanker later on. That's so funny. Campsa said fruit roll-ups. He says, I'm optimistic. I love this. I love the chat here. Campsa says 111. Charlie WU. I haven't seen that name before. Welcome in, says 111. All right, so roll-ups is the idea that you roll up or you batch like a large amount of transactions on a blockchain separate from the actual main blockchain, what we call a monolithic blockchain, especially where everything happens through the same part of the chain. There's not modular. It's not like there's a separate, chains inside the whole project that handle different things. They're all run through the same vein. Think of it like you have water running through a pipe, and you have water, or actually it'd be better to think about it like you have multiple different types of liquid, right? You had gas, you had water, you had coffee, I don't know, you had a bunch of different things, types of liquids running through multiple different pipes, right? That's modular blockchain. versus monolithic blockchain is like if we ran all of those things all through one pipe all together, the coffee, the gasoline, the water, all of it together through the same big pipe, and then we tried to filter and sort it all out later when it got to the end, you know, the place where it's going to through the pipe. I hope that actually made sense. But what I want to say about roll-ups is all those transactions are going through. Some of them are for gas fees. Some of them are for different transactions. They all have different purposes. Well, a roll-up takes them on the side and batches them together. The main focus of a roll-up, to be honest with you, is monolithic blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. They were not really able to handle the scalability part. So rollups are a big part of scalability, the ability to have a lot of people using the blockchain at a time and try to keep the fees, because the fees instantly shoot up on Ethereum. Most people know that, but they don't know why it does it. It's because there's a lot of people using it and the chain really just can't handle it. The rollups allow them to batch large groups of transactions separate from the main chain and then roll them up into basically one transaction. So imagine instead of having to validate every single transaction that goes through, you just batch up like 10,000 transactions on a side chain and then you just put it through the main chain as like one transaction. That gets verified, therefore verifying all of those other transactions, and that is a roll-up. And so optimistic roll-ups were basically the idea that when you batch 10,000 transactions or however many transactions, it might be more, it might be less, you were optimistic that all of those transactions were actually legitimate. Now, when I say that to you, does that sound like a very secure system to you? No, but they had to do it because there was no other way to fix the scalability. And if they couldn't fix the scalability, the prices for your fees of transactions would have ran way farther than what they did. And basically nobody would have used any of it, right? And so that was one of their fix. Well, that transitioned later on down the line, many years later, to zero knowledge roll-ups, right? Zero knowledge is a mathematical way of verifying the transactions that they are legitimate. So we've upgraded from being optimistic that these transactions are legitimate to using a mathematical sequence or pattern to actually verify what's in it without actually revealing what it is. It's very interesting, right? So you have privacy, but you have verification all together in the same, sentence. And it's really cool stuff, I guess, for the nerdy people like me who care about blockchain technology. But this is how we've seen it evolve, right? This is an emerging technology in space. You're gonna see evolution in the space. So optimism to zero knowledge. I hope that helps somebody out there. What's up, everybody? Yeah, it looks like we're getting good viewership tonight. Shout out to YouTube. You just gotta say good things about YouTube. Like, I love YouTube. I think YouTube is the greatest platform out there, period. All jokes aside, I mean, YouTube is. I mean, who's better than YouTube? Not Rumble, I tell you that much. Aztec, another one that's been on our radar a lot. Oh, what is that? Aztec Network is a private zero knowledge rollup, ZK rollup. It wouldn't possibly be exactly what I was just talking about. On Ethereum, enabling decentralized applications to access privacy and scale. Man, again, there are so many things that I want to talk about from doing this show for the last, 5 months or so. And raising my crypto IQ every day, because this show is for me just as much as it is for everybody else. I have to say, there are so many things that I want to say about privacy and scalability. But really, I got to back up and I got to talk to you guys more about just the way business runs in general. Because although blockchain is a lot of times, cryptocurrency, and people talk about it like they're currencies, they're really better thought of as small startup companies. Some of them smaller than others, right? Or maybe you could think of them like a company that just got listed on the stock exchange, right on the market. And so they are startups. Some of them have, very revolutionary ways of doing business or the ideas that they're trying to do. But regardless, every good company, every good business should solve a real problem. That's really what I'm trying to get to the heart of, right? We know that if you're going to start a business, there better be a real service or product that you're going to sell that actually is wanted by people. Otherwise, you're not going to be around very long. And so as you see, privacy and scalability in blockchain, as I was just talking about with optimistic rollups and ding ding zero knowledge rollups, is a real problem. You will see a lot of projects talking about helping with privacy or helping with scalability, one or the other, if not both. And I want you guys to recognize what they would call in traditional business pain points, right? Points of pain, whether it's points where things get messy, things don't work, there's problems. It's a pain point, right? Privacy and scalability in blockchain currently is a pain point. So when you see projects that are solving it, you probably want to think, well, how are they going to solve it? And then are they able to actually provide what they say they're going to do? If they can both actually solve the problem and they can follow through and make it happen, then you probably have a good pick on your hands. Now, the reason why I say all that is because I hope that raising people's crypto IQs for myself and, of course, everybody else will make all of us much better speculators in the market. Of course, it is never financial advice, it's education. So the market cap of Aztec is 7.8 million in market cap, all-time high market cap 112.8 million. The chart looks good and to the right. Let's pop down a little bit. It says 12th. I was going to say 12 February 26. That doesn't sound right. It sounds like AI. The 12th of February 2026 is when this coin token generated. Do not be confused by the chart and think that when the coin for the project, so think of the coin or the currency or, you know, the asset representing the actual company. Same thing as like a stock, right? As the same thing as when this project started, right? This project was probably out. They had people behind it. They were posting on social media. They were doing whatever they were doing for quite some time. They were getting investors. They were doing seed rounds way before they actually put out the token. All right. Somebody needed to hear that. Trading 24-hour trading volume 76.5 million. Let's go take a look at their website. And I've looked at this website so many times now, I don't even have to scroll down. I could probably just read it to you. But they want to be the next Renaissance, right? And what is a Renaissance but a revival? So fueled by Aztec, the bleeding edge network powering unprecedented projects, right? So they really present themselves as being very cutting edge. Is it a ploy, or are they actually very cutting edge on the back end of things? Well, being very involved with zero knowledge, anything, whether it's roll-ups or proofs, zero knowledge is kind of the next evolution of blockchain. Now, I'm not going to read all this to you because I feel like we've been over this project a million times. The whole point that I really like about not just zero knowledge, but Aztec, is that they want to solve the dilemma of the black and white. You rather have privacy or you don't have privacy. You are rather a transparent blockchain or project, or you are a privacy blockchain. They're saying, no, we don't need to do that. We need the best of both worlds, right? And we need to have privacy where we want it, and then transparency everywhere else, because that's the ethos of crypto, right? Everybody wanted decentralization, transparency. But the truth is, there are some applications where privacy is more than warranted. It is very good. Can you imagine being somebody with a lot of money and a lot of capital, and people keep messing up what you're doing because they can see everything that you're doing? Therefore, it's almost like the people with a lot of money aren't even allowed to participate so much in the network because they can see you. Now, when you add bots into this scenario, now it's not just the people with a lot of money who are being attacked. It's what we call a MEV attack, right? Maximal extractable value, which just says they squeeze every little bit of blood out of a rock that they could possibly get, if you understand the analogy. So when you, man, I'm really about to go into it. All right, I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are ready for a good show, right? They let you off the yard tonight. Good behavior. It's hilarious. Talking about Melissa. What's up, Melissa? I'm glad that you're here. Thanks for being here. Shout out to all my wonderful mods. Smash that like button and subscribe. Link in our free Discord in the chat. All right, so what I was going to say is that when you do a transaction, it goes into what's called a mem pool, M-E-M pool. Not a meme pool, but a mem pool. And that's where all the transactions sit in the blockchain before they're picked up by the validators and then put into a block, and therefore then batched up What a block is a batch of transaction, and then validated or executed or minted onto the block, if you will. At that point, that's finality. That is done. It's done with. Well, if you could imagine you're somebody and you're going to buy a meaningful amount of some asset, right? Enough money of an asset that it would actually move the price in some way. Well, bots or just regular people, if they're fast enough, who have access to the mempool. Remember, most mempools for blockchains are transparent and seeable in real time. Well, they can front run you. They could buy something before you buy it, which is more what they would do if you were selling something, right? They could buy it after you buy it because the price just went up, so they already longed it. So basically, they can take your transaction, they can delay it, they can push it forward, they can sandwich attack it, they can do so many different things. These are the validators and stuff who are doing these things, and bots in other ways, right? And the whole idea is they are extracting the maximum amount of value out of the transactions that are going on to their benefit, not your benefit. Matter of fact, slippage in a coin, when you were maybe swapping coins on PancakeSwap or Uniswap and you got far less coins than you thought you were going to get, what do you think happened? When you saw the little bit, like when you're swapping a coin, a lot of times it'll kind of give you an estimate of how many coins you're going to get, right? And you'll do the math a little bit, if it's easy math, that is, on the swap, and you'll say, okay, I should get about 100,000 coins for my money. And then you do it, and then you have a bunch of slippage, and say you only got 80,000 coins, right? Well, what happened? Maximum extractable value. You were MEV attacked in some way, shape, or form. Now, why am I saying all of that? Well, because zero knowledge has the ability to also hide mempools, right? So people can't see what's going on. And more or less, I'm just trying to explain to you some of the dilemmas out here in the world of crypto. All right. I feel like I'm going to be going on some long-winded rants. Y'all about to learn today. Yeah, no work today, thank goodness. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. They've been working you pretty hard, Melissa. Glad to hear you got a day off. Soon they will pay us to take them. It's bad out there. I'm just seeing what's going on in the chat. Everybody welcoming Melissa in. All right, so that's Aztec. That's zero knowledge rollups, right? We have so many things to cover. I could probably just sit here and just go over, crypto stuff in order and really lay it out. I think I might do a show like that sometimes. Everybody smash that like button. Sentient. So Sentient is all about open source artificial intelligence, right? And you see that in the description. Sentient is an open source artificial intelligence development platform. So the big takeaways here is, one, they want to research and forward an advanced AI, but they want it to be open sourced as your ChatGPT, and I don't believe Grok is open source. I know they keep talking about making Twitter, open sourced or whatever, but I don't think they've done that yet. And I don't know if Grok would even be included in that, right? Because there's such a race in AI. Anybody who has a functioning AI, they want to keep it under lock and key so their competitors can't just take it. But Sentient says, no, we believe in the blockchain decentralized ethos. We want everything open sourced, right? And so they want to bring everybody together. First, let's look at the market cap, 172.5 million. It is the category AI, all-time high 335 million, so it's been much higher than it is now. Let's go ahead and just pull. When I see price action like that, I'm like, let's pull a Fibonacci on this bad boy. Now you can see the thing hasn't been around that long, and would you believe it or not, look at that bounce off of the 786. Now I would not be surprised if it at least dipped under, right, and grabbed whatever is down here. That's where I like to place my buy orders, is under the 786, or if I'm really, really overly bullish, maybe exactly at the 786. Or sometimes I just wait for this kind of price action, right, where it comes down, bounces off, or in the range of the 786 and the 618, good to go. And of course, the 786 is a little bit lower than, say, your golden pocket, where most people talk about. I like the 786, and a good way to think about Fibonacci, these numbers here, because you can see we pulled from the bottom to the top, right, the full range of the price action, and you will see that it's backwards from the zeros on top, and then you have 0.2, 3, just think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? The 1 is 10. Think of it like fear. This is 0 fear. This is 23% fear. And now we're talking about for a long position, right? If you were long, not if you were short. But as people bought, right, as it comes down to where maybe they originally bought in, this is how much fear they are in. So the 786, in my opinion, the way I think about it, is like 78% fear. Most people sell their bag before they get to 78% fear or at 78% fear. Beautiful place to buy, because when most of that liquidity is then gone, it's usually when it runs to the upside, and I would normally throw my stop loss right under my 0 line or my bottom here where all price action began. Just wanted to explain that real quick for a second. Now let's, I guess, do one of these, kind of like fallen wedge. I don't even think it's very much fallen wedge. It looks like it's going to make a cup and handle, a big double bottom or something like that. Let's grab our tooling. Looks like it might make a cup with a handle, or maybe another double bottom. And of course, if it does it again, then you have an inverted head and shoulder. Now this is a newer coin. Looks like it came out the 22nd of January 2026. And we already went over the market cap and everything. Cent looks like a good one to trade. 24-hour trading volume, 94. Again, at this time in the market, it's not so bad. Time to trade some River. Maybe. It might just be. I changed my fib numbers to percentages instead of those weird numbers. Okay, bankroll. I mean, that makes sense. It's the same idea. But if it helps, anything that helps you represent the data better for you, that's a win. So the home for open source AI reasoning, and then they do have some products, right? They have the Sarah, Roma, and Sentient wins AI Startup of the Year. So they have their accolade here where they won at Cypher 2025 AI Startup of the Year. So if you're really into a lot of AI stuff, throw a 111 in the chat so I know. I love to take kind of quick polls when it comes to that stuff, so I can see one who's paying attention and contributing to the stream, but also I want to see where people are really bullish. Is it AI you're really bullish on, or is it decentralized exchanges, or is it whatever, metaverse? It doesn't matter what it is. And so as you can see, our research at the frontier of reasoning. So a lot of this is about, again, advancing AI in general, from security, reasoning, to learning, and having the ability to teach itself. I could go into a lot of detail about a lot of this stuff, but we're trying to do a quick run through here. And I'm making it take a long time because, boy, am I bullish on crypto as a solution to a lot of the world's issues, right? People get a little bit too caught up in what is the price doing right here, right now. And I gotta say, I'm here for that. I own some crypto, obviously. I'm here for the price go up, right? But as I might have came into crypto originally for price go up, I learned a lot about the actual tech behind crypto, currency, blockchain technology, in the many applications, from AI to banking to whatever, cross-border payments, whatever it is. And I see the future is on blockchain. That's what I have to say. But my point is, like many people, I came in here to the space to buy some bags and hold for 4-year cycles and make some money. And this last cycle was pretty mid. But long term, I know crypto is going to be what everything runs off of. So why does crypto have value? Oh, we're going to get to that. Don't worry. So fiat, tinfoil hat, I just want to say I do love your name. You want to replace fiat with another fiat, LOL? Well, that's a multifaceted question, tinfoil hat, but I would like to entertain what you're saying for a second. And I hope that you're actually open to have a conversation and you're not just like a troll coming in here, because then, I don't know, I guess I'd be wasting my breath, but somebody out here will hear some good information, so we'll get some good out of it no matter what. So fiat, what is fiat? Of course, at first, fiat is just money that's instituted, that is put out there. Of course, it used to be gold-backed. I think that's what you hear everybody say. I never know where somebody's at when it comes to what they understand about the history of money, our civilization, civilizations that come before. I learned a lot about it from the lifer. But You could say, okay, it's fiat, right? But what is it backed by? Because when you came off of the gold standard, you were no longer backed by gold currency. Therefore, you could issue as much of it as you want. There you go. And during, the pandemic and stuff like that, they issued so much of the currency that they basically inflated it by like almost 60-70%. US currency I'm talking about. Obviously, I'm in America, so I'm talking about the US. But the same idea, the same logic does apply to most countries because they're all pretty much done the same way. Very few of the countries are on any kind of gold or silver or asset basket backed money. It's just printed. It's just printed and printed and printed and printed until it goes to zero. And if you study your history of money, they've done this forever. Bitcoin is different. Bitcoin, there is a finite amount of it, and there won't be more unless enough people agree to mint more. So it's not an impossibility, but it is definitely not a plausibility, right? It's definitely not very likely that they're going to be ever minting any more Bitcoin because everybody who holds it has value because of the finite amount. But again, that's just talking about Bitcoin. Not every cryptocurrency operates that way. And so that's why I said earlier on that, but the thing is, your definition of fiat is wrong. Fiat is basically because I say so. For the government-backed currency has value because the government says so. Tinfoil hat, that is basically right along the lines of what I was saying. Fiat used to be based on gold, right? Or backed by gold. And then they took it off the gold standard, and then it was pretty much backed by nothing. So that is exactly what I just said. I don't know if you just came here to argue. You're pretty much wasting your time. But the reason why Bitcoin was drastically different and the hardest money out there is because it has a finite actual amount and it's backed by the scarcity of the asset itself. Now, all things basically have value because we decided they have value. Why does gold have value and not granite, right? Why do we not stack granite and wear, granite chains? Well, because people didn't think granite, they thought it was cool. They'll put it on a countertop. It's worth more money than, say, some other random rock. But gold was highly more scarce. So it's really scarcity that gives things a lot of its value. You don't have to believe in cryptocurrency as valuable. Don't buy any. You're not going to hurt me none. But if you actually break down the numbers, there's a scarce amount of Bitcoin. And as we go forward, there will be less and less and less and less of it. Now, not every blockchain works that way. So that's why Bitcoin is seen as a store of value where, Ethereum is not necessarily the same as Bitcoin, and so on and so forth as you go down the different cryptocurrency. You should think of them like startup. You should think of them as startup companies that are seeking to solve different solutions, just like a newly listed company on, say, the stock exchange. Same idea. They have a stock that represents them. It has a value, most of the time given by scarcity and, total valuation of the company, stuff like that. And most cryptos are exactly the same. I'm not going to spend any more time on that, but gold-backed currency is not fiat because it's backed by something of value. You don't need anyone to have faith in that value. You do have to have faith, tinfoil, that the U.S. government has the gold that they say that they have. All right. So if you have a gold-backed currency, you're basically saying, I believe that the U.S. government, or whatever government, I'm using the U.S. because I live in it, but any gold-backed currency, okay, you could say it's not fiat, sure, but you're still trusting that the value is actually there. And you're also trusting that if you wanted to trade in your paper money or whatever physical representation of money you have, that you could get some of that gold. Not necessarily going to happen. And there's a lot of different forms of money if you go around the world, the way that it's set up, right? It became fiat when Nixon took off the gold standard. Yeah, tinfoil, that's what I'm saying. Before he did that, it wasn't fiat. Sure, but you definitely are still trusting that the gold that you claim is there. Think about gold. It's heavy. You can't really lug it around. The US didn't, even when we were a gold-backed currency, or any, let's just say any country, right, that has a gold-backed money, right? They don't bring the money out the gold out every month and show everybody and count it on live TV and show you that it's there. You're trusting that they have that gold. They could have sold half of it and you would have no idea. That's my point when it comes to the whole gold-backed currency, which I'm not against. I'm just saying it's still a trust-based system. Blockchain is actually verifiable on chain, therefore it's less of a trust-based system. You see what I'm saying? It is definitely an evolution of money. Well, the definition is wrong. Anything debated around it is going to be wrong. Every single point matters here. It's the fruit of poison tree. Okay. The thing is, the U.S. government doesn't have any gold. Sure. Tinfoil hat. I assume that they invited you to Fort Knox, right? Tinfoil hat has been to Fort Knox. He has seen for his own eyes that the U.S. government doesn't have any gold. I mean, it's plausible, and there is a good chance that they don't. I know what you're saying. I hear you. But we don't actually know. It's all speculation. You haven't been there. I am assuming, maybe you have, but I'm assuming you probably haven't been to Fort Knox, and you probably don't know if we have gold or not. Anyway, so the value has nothing to do with the U.S. government. All right, tinfoil hat, I have entertained your arguments there a little bit. If you don't understand why crypto has any value, I don't know what to tell you. None of what I'm saying is, let's say, for example, if the U.S. government has or has not the gold. Well, you were making a point that they didn't have the gold, so that's why I was saying that. What exactly does that have to do with value? It affects the price. Well, value is something that we prescribe to something, or we ascribe to something. So if we all agreed that money was worth a certain amount because it was backed by gold, and then we found out there was more gold than we thought there were, then we would give it more value. If we found out there was less gold than they told us there was, then we would give it less value if it's a gold-backed currency. Fiat doesn't have any of that. So if you're against fiat, I'm with you. I get it. But I don't think everybody here wants me to just sit and argue back and forth with tinfoil hat. If you want to call it arguing, I'm just really entertaining your question here. But I am actually here to talk about cryptocurrency. So let's talk about Alora as it is trending today. Alora is a self-improving decentralized AI network. And the last thing I'll say about that is it doesn't really matter if you believe it has value or doesn't have value. Blockchain technology is moving in and taking over. It's tokenizing everything. You can choose to throw your hands up in the air and say it's all a bunch of crap and not educate yourself and not know anything about how any of this works. Or you can educate yourself. Those are your two options, really. So Alora is a self-improving decentralized AI network. Look at this. Alora, a cryptocurrency. Why does it have value? Not because it's fiat currency money, but because it's an AI company, an AI project, right? And they want to make it self-improving, meaning it can learn by itself using AI and improve itself. It empowers applications with smarter and more secure AI through self-improving networks of machine learning models. By leveraging cutting-edge crowdsourcing mechanisms like peer prediction, federated learning, and ZKMLs, Alora opens up new possibilities for crypto AI applications. Market cap right now, 21.2 million, been as high as 169 million. I don't really love the disparity. Yeah, Plague Dogs, I'm with you, man. It says switch to Sativia for a couple of days and mellow out a little bit. Yeah, has price and no value. Okay, dude, you can say that if you'd like to. Everything has price, and the value is ascribed to it. You know, take a random type of metal, take platinum in the market, right? Its value fluctuates based off of how people need it, what they need it for. If demand goes up, the price goes up. If demand goes down, price goes down. Okay, but its value at the end of the day, it is just a piece of metal. It's made valuable by how useful or how much people want it. Cryptocurrency is the exact same way. When it's in high demand, the value and the price goes up. When it's in low demand, the value and the price goes down. Right now it's in low demand. That's what we call a bear market. I don't think these things are definitely I don't think you don't know these things, you know what I mean? I think you do know these things. Price fluctuates. Yeah, of course. Value fluctuates as well. You believe that everything has a finite value? and it's never changing, it's just always valuable. Because I think if you study history, you'll find some things at certain points of time were very valuable, and then humanity moved on. New things came out, and they were not nearly as valuable anymore. And that is, pretty much all I have to say about that. Value is not like a once and done kind of thing. Value changes, just like the price, and the price reflects the value. Yeah, that's exactly what he says. Value equals use case and supply. Is that not what I just said? I don't even know if we're arguing. I feel like we're both just saying the exact same thing. And then, I don't know. Tinfoil feels like it's drastically different when I don't think it really is. All right. Anyways, I'm trying to talk about Allura, but, when somebody starts coming in here with all the stuff. Yeah, but why are you talking about price when talking about the value of crypto? Because the price is a reflection of the value of a cryptocurrency independently. Not all cryptocurrencies. That would be the total market value, right? That would be up here. Total market cap of all crypto, $2.3 trillion. You get what I'm saying? That would be a better value of the entire market. Price does reflect value. I don't see how you wouldn't realize that. Anyways, let's go to the website for Allura, because I'd rather talk about abstraction, right? And what is abstraction in cryptocurrency? Abstraction is the idea and the thought that we will take the complications out of blockchain technology, things like big wallet addresses and swapping and stuff, and then we will make a nice dashboard, a nice user ability for people who are using the product. A lot of this, I like to use the not the metaphor, but the application of wallets, right? Because we've seen wallets really, really, really grow from what they were 4, 5, 6 years ago to what they are now, where you can pretty much swap and do everything you want to do inside the wallet that you're already using. It is very useful. And that is what abstraction means. You're basically abstracting, or you could even think of distracting people from the complexities of blockchain and actually, just making it easy to use. So they don't have to understand the complexity, because the complexity of crypto is what has kept a lot of people away from using crypto. And if we could just make it easy to use, you click the buttons and everything works, more people are going to come over and use blockchain technology. And as we said for a long time before abstraction was really like a key term that you heard a lot, was that the blockchain technology was going to run in the back end of stuff, right? And people who were going to use the product or the app or the wallet or whatever, they weren't even going to know that they were using blockchain technology, because eventually it'll become that fast, that cheap, and that well put out UX or usability, right, will be so seamless and smooth. A lot of people will use this stuff every day and they won't even know that they're using a blockchain. And as you can see, I'm not going to sit around and argue here with tinfoil hat. He can go on and on if he'd like. I would like to actually have conversation with you, but you can never tell with people, like, are they really open to a conversation? Do they just have an opinion that they're never going to change because they think that they're right about everything? Like, you just don't know. If it was a face-to-face conversation, tinfoil, I would definitely entertain you and I would talk to you about it, but I can't derail the whole show for you. And I'm only saying that in good faith, that you're like a good person and not just like a bot. Anyways, Allura is a self-improving, decentralized AI network that harnesses community-built machine learning models for highly accurate, context-aware predictions. So this is also very much wrapped around predictions, right? The Internet of Intelligence powered by a network of machine learning models. Allura solves for siloed or isolated machine learning or machine intelligence, kind of the same thing. So today, powerful machine intelligence is primarily confined within industry giants, where data, algorithm, and computational resources remain isolated and limited. Allura breaks down these silos by creating an open network enabling diverse data sets, algorithms, computational power to seamlessly interconnect. By maximizing these connections, Allura empowers anyone to harness collective insight, driving richer, more relevant intelligence for smarter decision making. Let's see. Sorry, I know he's blowing up the chat. I don't want to ignore all my regulars, though. Being right isn't how money's made. Being right isn't how money's made. The guy who's right holds his bad trade because he knows it'll come back. Plague Dogs, you know your stuff. Exactly. You know nothing. That's how you make money. Plague Dogs, I don't think he's a lifer. I don't think he's going to understand that. No, we banter, speculate, and bounce ideas. We don't echo because others make money, because open-minded, not being right. Sure. And I'm always learning. I come here every day to raise my own IQ, my own crypto IQ, and I'm welcome for anybody who comes along. If Tinfoil feels like he has something of value to add, that's fine. He can certainly do that. If you think I'm wrong, you debate around the point instead of assuming I'm a. You debate around the point instead of assuming I'm a bot. That doesn't seem like it's written right. But anyways, need LOL sound like 9-year-old when he wants to pack a Pokemon card. It's need. Yeah. Tinfoil. Honestly, I don't even know what we're arguing about. We were saying most of the same stuff the whole time. You're just saying it slightly different than what I'm saying. I really don't think that we really are disagreeing as much as you think that we're disagreeing. Anyways, so Allura is about abstraction and it's about AI. And also, thank you for coming to the chat, Tinfoil. I hope you come every day and state your cases and state your points and stuff, because you are running up this chat and that is helping to bring people into the show. So I do very much appreciate you being here, regardless about, you know, what you're saying or how you feel about what I'm saying. Zama. So as we talked about, like optimistic rollups, zero knowledge rollups, fully homomorphic encryption is just another example of a language that we're hearing a lot. And it's seeming like an evolution in the technology of blockchain, but also in the technology of encryption, right? All I'm asking is, why does crypto have value without mentioning price? But I've answered that, Tinfoil, several times. You know, like you go to the store and tell me why a bottle of bleach has value. Why does it have a price? Why does it have value? Because people use it, because it has a use case. I don't know what, some things are so basic that like I wasn't really trying to explain that to you because it's so obvious. Crypto companies, new startup companies, they want to solve a problem. If they do a good job and they actually have a usability that people want to use, the value is in your ability to use it. And you've already said that in your own statements, that value does come from both scarcity and demand. If something works well, it's very demanded. People demand to use it. They're willing to pay to use it, and therefore it has value to you, to the person using it. To somebody else who doesn't use it, has no value. You see what I'm saying? Bleach is a good example. A lot of cleaning people clean with bleach. They buy gallons and gallons of bleach at the store, month after month, year after year. I personally don't use bleach. You get what I'm saying? So to me, bleach doesn't have any value because I would never buy bleach and I don't want to use bleach in any application ever. So to me, it has no value. Do you get my point? And we're going to leave it at that. Yeah, even memes have value. Yep. If it brings someone on chain, that's value. Yeah, sure. Value is an abstract thing. I feel like Tinfoil is basically arguing that value is a finite thing, right? That is very measurable, regardless of person to person, regardless of, you know, anything. That is just something has value, right? And it's just, that's its value. Value fluctuates. Value is still a personal thing. If you don't value something, you don't buy something. You don't spend your money on it, right? All right. Zama is a cryptography company dedicated to developing open source homomorphic encryption tools for developers. So right here is a great example. Zama is a cryptography company dedicated to developing open sourced homomorphic encryption. All you need to know, it's a type of encryption tools for developers. This would probably be very valuable to a developer. And a developer would probably be willing to pay money for their product if it's a good product. And if the demand of their product increases to developers, if this becomes a staple in blockchain development and every developer wants to use this, its value or its price might go up. So value and price are definitely correlated. I don't know how you can argue that value and price don't have a correlation. I think that's kind of nuts. 47.7 million in market cap. All-time high market cap, 88 million. And let's take a look. The 2nd of February, 2026. And the chart doesn't look amazing. It hasn't been around all that long, right? Its all-time high was 88. Yeah, now it's at 47. That's not such a big deal. Not a whole lot of pattern to really draw out here or anything of that next word. For your info, you can block him. Plague Dog, why would I block him? Look at him running that chat up, and he's bringing in a ton of people into the show. I would just ignore him if you don't want to see him. Also, my mods, if you guys get tired of him, you could block him. I don't care. He's not really like being nasty. He's just adamant, right? He's just continuing on and on and on. He says, no, I mean personally, I blocked him. Oh, okay, cool. Just letting everybody know you can block him. Sure. As this channel continues to grow, there's going to be people who come in here and just blabber, or whatever. I'm not even saying Tinfoil is blabbering because I honestly still want to be as respectful to Tinfoil Hat as possible. Now he could just be a troll. He does have a name like Tinfoil Hat. A lot of times troll accounts do have names like that a lot of the time. Build confidential applications on any blockchain. So again, encryption, what is encryption? Privacy. And this is all about the application of building by developers, right? Any layer 1 or layer 2 using FHE, which is fully homomorphic encryption. So it's basically saying you can bring confidential, which means private, smart contracts on top of any layer 1 or layer 2 using their fully homomorphic encryption. So they have a really clear use case. But to the everyday person like me, who is not a developer, the value is not that high to me because I don't have the interest of developing anything. So I don't need their tooling and I don't need their tools, right? Because I'm not a developer. So therefore, I don't have as much of an idea of value in Zama as maybe a lot of people who are building in cryptocurrency or blockchain technology would have, right? All right, let's move on. MemeX Finance is a decentralized exchange. Rainbow is a wallet. I'm going to click on it because I've skipped over it a few times just because it's a new custodial wallet, right? And let's go right to their website so you can see what the heck I'm talking about. If you've ever used Solflare, if you've ever used MetaMask, if you've ever used any of those things, as we were talking about wallet abstraction earlier, you're going to see wallets just get better and better and better and better. And this one here, this built for, it's funny, I clicked mobile and it came up desktop first, but it has a desktop version, right, that you can use as a plugin for Chrome and stuff, just like Solflare does. And then it has a mobile version that you could use right on your mobile device, whether that is, Apple or Android. And it's a wallet. I mean, most people have used a wallet. There are so many wallets nowadays that you do have to ask yourself, what is so interesting about Rainbow? I'd almost have to use it to tell you, but again, wallets have gotten really good, right? With your ability to swap coins in the wallet. Before you would get a token and you'd have to manually go add the token to your wallet. Now they're a lot better about that. Although sometimes if you got a very new meme coin or a very on the fringe coin for whatever reason, it's not been around a long time, it's not super popular, then you might still have to go add your coin to your wallet. But anyways, Rainbow is another one of those, and it's only got a $3.6 million market cap. I think it's because a wallet, nobody really is confused about what the use case of a wallet, right, is, but we have a lot of wallets. So why would you need Rainbow? I'm unclear on why Rainbow as a wallet is something I need, right? It's not, got every blockchain on it? Like, what is the use case here? Because I already have a ton of wallets. So it would have to, Rainbow would have to really make a good argument for why I would want to download their product and use it, because I already have plenty of wallets. Rainbow needs to do something that I've never seen before for me to feel like I need it, right? All right. Yeah, Plague Dogs, I love what you have to say. He says the dude is spending his most valuable asset arguing semantics. Yep, most valuable asset is your time. And just like the Lifer, I got to tell you, I appreciate everybody who comes to the stream and shares your most valuable asset with me. I don't say it just like that because that's something that the Lifer says a lot, and I don't want to, like, you know, I don't want to copy him verbatim, but the meaning behind what the Lifer is saying is spot on. And of course, Plague Dogs, he's a fellow Lifer. $5, that dude who deleted the Discord tab, you're hilarious. We figured out who it was, but they basically made their account look like somebody who's in the Discord, but I could tell because they spelled the word official wrong, and in the real account for the person, the word official is not spelled wrong. But anyways, we figured out who it was, and I went to delete him from the group. He was already gone. He was already left the group. So he might try to come back and do it. He shouldn't have permission. The permission should be better, right? All right. And yeah, again, it looks like one of the mods did kind of get rid of the rhetoric here. If that statement is wrong, can you correct it for me? Tinfoil Hat, I don't know what your statement was. One of my mods went ahead and I guess removed the stuff you were saying. Did he get blocked? All comments just vanished. I don't know. Did one of my mods block him? Or he can't be blocked because I can still see his chat right here. Yugi, you figured out. Who was it? I actually posted it in the Discord in the main chat, the main hangout, if you will. But it's not like a Scooby-Doo cartoon where we rip the mask off and reveal who it is. It was somebody with like a random, you know. Basically, they took an account. We've seen this many times in the Discord where they basically try to copy their name and in their image to somebody who is actually in our Discord, like Melissa or Blues Guy or whatever. But they had like a misspelling in there, right? Because they can't take the exact same name. And so I posted who it was. But we don't really know who they were, right? They just made like a pseudonym name and copied one of the profiles that was in our Discord, and then they left after they did whatever they did. I went to block them, and they were already gone out of the Discord. I assume that they've gotten smart and they do that so that they can basically leave, you know, and not get blocked. I wonder if I can go and enter in his name and then block him. Good thing I screenshotted it. Said I was talking to the people here. Okay, cool. I have no problem, Tinfoil, with you being here. I just want to say that. No problem with you being here, man. All right. It wasn't me. Like I said, he's not being nasty or anything. Exactly. I said the same thing. As long as somebody's not being nasty, I don't have any problem with them being here. Real crew. Yep, we're a cool core group here. We ride for each other. We fam. Yeah, we consider ourselves crypto family. So welcome in, Tinfoil. You can still be a part of the fam. And it's so funny. I haven't even done like my talking points or anything. Let's do our like story of the day here. Let me pull it up. All right. Let's go ahead and refresh this.
I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be there. We don't need a plan. I like it unprepared. Whatever comes our way, we'll stay there for the day.
And then, man, it's amazing how long it's taken to get through all of this trending. I've been going over a lot of these projects. I'm a little bit fired up today if people can't tell that. So anyways, XPL, that is all about stablecoin and stablecoin infrastructure. Initia, I swear I've been over it so many times, I never remember what it is. I really like when the name of a project reflects like what it is really accurately because it helps me remember it. But for whatever, Initia doesn't help me remember. It's a layer 1 blockchain network that utilizes Cosmos SDK to enhance scalability and interoperability within blockchain ecosystems. So there you go. It's a layer 1 blockchain network that utilizes Cosmos. One of its biggest backers here and funders is YZI Labs. It says previously Binance. I think it's probably still Binance. It says it's a layer 2, which is really interesting because look at this. It has a subcategory tag as a L2, but then it says it's a layer 1. So that's a little bit confusing there. Let's see. Can we go back to the beginning of this coin? It came out the 10th of October 2025. It's got a 15.2 million market cap, been as high as 213. I don't like the disparity between the two. There you go. So layer 1 or maybe a layer 2 on Cosmos. Where's Flare into bubbles? Talking about the crypto bubbles? Underground had triple espresso. Pretty much. That's basically what it is. You must be new. If you're here, though, you must have some type of interest in crypto. Exactly. And I mean, yeah, I'm open to the idea. I've listened to various crypto people, including Michael Saylor. Yep, I'm still not seeing the value of it for me to buy it. I don't know what crypto does in order to have that much market cap. I don't see it doing anything for us currently. Yeah, and this argument, tinfoil, that you're making is a pretty common argument for people who've never been involved in crypto, who have no idea about crypto, right? Crypto is not one thing. I think that's the part where it makes it hard to understand, is because you're like kind of oversimplifying crypto or blockchain, right? Cryptocurrency is a bunch of companies. It's a bunch of startup companies in a new space, a new asset class of digital companies, right? And they all do different things. If you're listening to the show as I go through, like, you know, Rainbow is a wallet. What is a wallet? Well, what is your wallet? It's a digital version of a wallet. Plasma is stable coins and stablecoin infrastructure. Spacecoin wants to put satellites into space so that we can have decentralized internet. Can you see how all these companies have totally different ideas? The same as if you're familiar with TradFi, if you're familiar with the stock market, all of those are companies who had ideas, and then they eventually got big enough that they could be on the stock market. And other people said, hey, I really like that idea. I want to invest in that idea. And so they bought the stock of whatever asset. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. So it's like when you're like, I don't see the value in cryptocurrency. I don't know if you mean the idea of cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. Are you talking about Ethereum? Like, think about how different Bitcoin and Ethereum are. The first two, like, cryptos, right? The first two crypto projects that ever had any significance to them. Bitcoin, the foundation, the original, and then Ethereum, they're totally different. Like, completely different use cases, right? And so I don't know if I don't know how much you understand about that kind of stuff. So far, it doesn't actually do anything, but we're betting on something they claim they want to do. No, tinfoil, crypto does a lot of things, you know? I send money anywhere I want for basically for free using XRP. I send money through all different exchanges and stuff like that. I've sent money to my friends, you know, through XRP. It's almost instant. It's almost instantaneous. I can self-custody my own money. There you go. It's a great application, tinfoil. I can self-custody my own money and cut the banks out completely, right? I don't have to trust a bank anymore. I mean, a lot of what you were talking about, tinfoil, was about like trusting, you know what I mean, in fiat and stuff like that. How do you trust your bank? How do you if you have a decent amount of money or whatever is a lot of money to you, why would you put it in a bank? I can self-custody my own money. And the only people who have access to the money, as far as I understand or have ever seen, because we're working off of the information that we have, is me and me. That's it. And so there's a great use case for crypto right there. We have stable coins, right? You don't have to you don't have to put your money in Bitcoin. You can put your money in a stable coin, which is stable, stays at $1 or very close to $1, right? So there you go. Exactly. That's what all cryptos do. That's the only thing. I don't even know. I don't know what he's saying anymore. But hey, this is what this channel is all about, right? It's about actually raising our crypto IQ, and it seems like it's working. What percentage are doing it for purpose? I mean, tinfoil hat, how many people are buying stocks in the stock market for purpose? I think most of them are investing money because they want to make more money and they want to have generational wealth. I mean, if you go down any sector, you're going to have people who are heavily into the tech and the gear or whatever, and then you're just going to have people who just coming in for an opportunity to make money. And that's just kind of is what it is. The chat is bumping, you know, trying to keep up with this chat is something. I wish I knew what he was talking about, though. Decentralization, security, and speed. That's the final answer. He says, like hot potato. But the thing is, what do people who receive it do with it? They spend it. It's currency. I don't know. I don't know how to say that any other way. Like, what do they do with XRP when I give it to them? They do whatever they want to do with it. What is a homeless guy on the corner who I give a $5 bill to? What does he do with it? I don't know. He might buy himself lunch. He might use it to wipe his butt. I don't freaking know. I give him $5. He does what he wants. When I send money to my friends, I think most of them cash it into USDT, and then through an off-ramp like Coinbase or something, they put it in their bank account and they spend it, or they buy stuff in crypto, or they swap it for other coins, or they just hold XRP because they think it's going to go up. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's money. You could do whatever you want with it. The valuation does fluctuate, but regular US dollars are exactly the same. Just because you don't see the US dollar go up and down doesn't mean the US dollar's value doesn't go up and down. All right, so we're going to start with, and you're going to love the talking points today. I probably should have did the talking points way earlier than this, but it's been running, right? It's been running. Crypto is just buy and sell without improving our lives. No, tinfoil hat, it's not. That's your opinion because you haven't taken the time to educate yourself about cryptocurrency. I don't know. At this point, you know, I really hope you stick around for what we're going to talk about here. Maybe a little less typing and just listen to what is being said to you. I'm not saying, tinfoil, that you have to agree with what I'm saying, but just listen for a minute to what I'm saying. All right, because I have this a little bit organized so that I can help people understand. So first, we're going to put it into a story format here. So a short story about where crypto value comes from, right? And this is like specifically for you, tinfoil. At first glance, crypto seems strange. A digital token with no physical form, no state backing, no inherent material use, somehow carries value. I think this is exactly what he's having trouble wrapping his head around. People trade it, people hold it, build systems around it, markets assign billions in worth to assets that exist only as entries in a distributed ledger. The question naturally follows, why? Why are people doing this, right? You think they're doing it for no reason at all? You think they're all doing it because every single one of them is delusional? Trillions of dollars of delusion? Okay. Value in crypto does not originate from substance, it originates from agreement. When a group of participants recognize a digital asset as meaningful, as useful, scarce, or representative of access within a system, demand then begins to form for it. That demand is not abstract. It connects a real behavior, transaction, staking, governance, collateral, coordination. Utility reinforces attention. Attention reinforces liquidity. Liquidity reinforces trust, and trust reinforces participation. Over time, a network forms around the asset. I'm going to read that one more time. Utility reinforces attention. So something it being useful for, right? Then the attention of that utility reinforces the liquidity, the monetary demand. Liquidity, therefore, reinforces the trust, so the liquidity, therefore, reinforces everybody's trust in it. Trust reinforces participation. The more trusted it is, the more people participate in it. Over time, a network forms around the asset, literally absolutely no different than any other form of currency in the world. Scarcity then matters. If access to the system requires the token, then the token supply is limited. Participants compete for ownership, right? Scarcity amplifies the demand already created by coordination and utility. Speculation enters next. So we're going through all the phases here, right? Participants begin to price not only what the system is, but also what it might become. So speculation comes into the mix. Future adoption becomes present value. Markets move ahead of reality, but they do so based on shared expectations of growth. Most of the tokens fail in this process because they are new startup companies. Most new startup companies fail. So this is nothing new. This is nothing surprising. People want to point to the fact that certain tokens and projects fail, like new startup companies failing is some kind of surprise. It happens every day. They remain scarce without demand, useful without adoption, or believed in without network reinforcement. Markets filter them out. Liquidity disappears and value starts to collapse, just like anything else in the entire world. But some assets persist, right? Some survive that dilemma. They survive because participants continue to coordinate around them, to use them, to trust them, and to integrate and build on them. They expect their relevance to continue. Value stabilizes not because of intrinsic backing, but because the system is built around the asset sustaining itself. The crypto value is not an illusion. It's an emergent structure. And we're going to go right into the talking points on this. Yes, I do use ChatGPT to organize my thoughts because I plan out whole series of information to go over, and I want it to correlate well together and stuff. So yes, I know somebody's going to say it. Oh, you're just reading from ChatGPT. Yeah, well, you know, you try to talk for hours on a topic and stay on topic, right? This helps me keep everything organized and on topic here. Definitely need some of this water, though. This fan is kicking. And no, I haven't seen the chat, but boy, is it running today. Shout out to all my undergrounders. Shout out to all my lifers. Says I'll listen while I cook, BRB. All right, well, I hope you were actually listening to that. Because that story really just kind of helps set for some reason, a story presented information seems to click with people a lot better. But now we're going to get into more of, a different way of presenting the information and probably a little bit more intricate. So hopefully that reinforces what we just read. Well said, Blues. Look at hand sanitizer during COVID, silver during, yeah, exactly. Most people here get what we're saying. So what value means in crypto? Value in crypto does not come from a physical backing or government authority. And I think this is something that people are so used to that it's very hard for other people to wrap their head around anything other than physical backings like gold, silver, basket of assets, whatever, or a governmental authority. And it's funny because a lot of the people who argue against crypto are quote unquote conspiracy theorists, right? And they hate government authority and they don't want to get away from money that has value based off of government authority. I think it's kind of a weird conundrum. So it emerges from a combination of perceived usefulnesses, scarcity, usefulnesses, also utilities, you could say it that way, things that it does well, scarcity, coordination, and demand. Crypto value is social, economic, and technological all at one time. It's very much the evolution of money in general. Scarcity alone does not create value. Many tokens are scarce. Most have little value. Scarcity only matters when something scarce is also desired or useful within a system, so it has to be both. It can't just be scarce, right? It also has to be sought after. People have to actually want it. Scarcity amplifies value. It doesn't create value. Beautifully said, in my opinion. Like, value is not created just because of scarcity, right? There could be something in the world that's very scarce, but nobody wants it, and that doesn't make it valuable, right? But scarcity does amplify the value of something that's already perceived as valuable. So utility as a source of value. I think this is pretty much the answer. Like, this is kind of exactly what I was trying to get at. That I think was where we were disconnected, tinfoil hat, is that utility as a source of value in crypto is a predominant idea, and where most of the idea of value in crypto comes from. Some crypto assets provide functional roles like transaction fees, staking, security, governance rights, collateral, network, and I would also add to that ownership, right? Ownership is a big part of that. Just like stocks in the stock market. Somebody with a bunch of money and they have 50% of the stocks that are issued by said company. Can you imagine being somebody who owned 50% of Tesla? I don't think anybody does, but if you could imagine, that person would have a large ownership of the Tesla company. Same idea. Utility creates ongoing demand. Coordination and shared belief. Number 4. Crypto systems depend on collective agreements. Participants recognize a token as meaningful because others do as well. Value forms through coordination around a shared standard. Network effect. As more participants use a system, then the utility increases, the liquidity improves, the trust grows, and integration expands. And I would also say as more people use it, developers come in and build more cool stuff in a system. Network's growth reinforces the asset value. And stick around all week, guys, because we're going to continue this conversation. Speculation and forward expectations. Market's price, future potential. Many crypto assets derive value from expected adoption and not even just current use. Speculation reflects anticipated utility. Market selection. Thousands of tokens exist, but markets allocate attention and capital selectively. Over time, some assets sustain demand while others lose relevance. Value stabilizes through market filtering, right? Multi-factor nature of crypto value, meaning that the value of crypto is not one straightforward thing, it is multi-factored. Sustainable crypto value typically combines scarcity, utility, network effect, belief, and liquidity. No single factor is sufficient alone or by itself. So it's not one single factor that gives, crypto value. It's a multitude of different things together that give it value, right? Come on. We already read the story. Why is it freezing up? So core insights here, crypto assets hold value when enough participants agree they matter. The system reinforces that agreement. Again, it's no different than a governmental issued currency. The government told you it's valuable. That's why it's valuable. It is what it is, right? At least in crypto, you get to have a lot more of a say in what you're going to use, what you think is valuable. You could hold Bitcoin because you think Bitcoin's the only one that's ever really useful or valuable. You could only hold XRP because you think it's going to continue to go up in price, so it's a good place to park your money, and it's literally about moving money, and it works very well. The XRP L ledger works very well. And so maybe you want to hold XRP. When you are, say, in a country like America, you use the US dollar. You don't have a choice, right? You don't get to choose to use the Chinese yen on everyday life in crypto, in the United States. You can't just use the Canadian dollar everywhere you go. But you can take Bitcoin and you can use it in almost every single country in the world. Would we not agree that that has more use case than even the American dollar? All right, where are we at? This chat has been running. And you guys vote by buying it and raising money. I'm just hopping randomly into these conversations. I don't even know. I think gold and silver are running more because of use case in tech and AI. Absolutely, bankroll they are. You notice that gold and silver and stuff are running really hard, and what do they keep talking about in the United States? Building data centers for, AI and everything else that you can think of, power grid, it's infrastructural, it's use case, probably more than just simply value. Although simply value on a world scale when it comes to gold and silver is definitely part of it. Just trying to keep up with the chat and a little bit here. Even when it's running, I still want to say what's up to my people. Kamsa says, nice red candles on BTC. Short is cooking. 62, here we go. Tinfoil Hat says, use the profits to do what they were proposing. And people who started it use the profits what they were proposing. Is that what it is? I mean, some projects promise a lot of stuff, and then some of them do what they say they're going to do, and some of them don't. You got to remember that when you buy into a project, that's a personal choice that you're supporting them, which again is absolutely no different than you buying a stock on the stock market. How many stocks have come onto the stock market and then gone to zero and then gone bankrupt and closed, and people bought into those projects, those companies, and lost their money because maybe they didn't do their research, or maybe it looked really good forward facing to investors, but it wasn't. It was a bunch of nonsense. That's what new startup companies can do. Also, there's a lot of people who made a ton of money on stuff, right? People look at it and they want to support their ideas. They buy some of it. So the people who create the coins take the profit and do what they said they were going to do. Is this the case? They send satellites into space to provide us with internet. Is that right? Then I'm lost again. I'm gonna try one more time to say this as clearly as I possibly can. Just like in the stock market, you have new startup companies. They're a new startup company. They could be doing anything, literally anything, from being involved in finances to providing mortgages, to selling a physical product in a store, to having a service like plumbing or electricity. Like, they're just startup companies. And people in the stock market buy the stock. At one point in time, Tesla was a new company, right? It didn't have a track record. I don't even know if they had cars built yet. And they went on the stock market, and people saw the vision. They saw the value, and they bought the stock Tesla. Same with Apple, same with Facebook, same with any company. And those ones we know about because they did really well, and people made a lot of money on them. Because they believed that they were going to do. People believed that Tesla was going to build electric cars. That's why they invested, right? You could say it's for the vision. You could say it was because they knew they were going to make a lot of money. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Cryptocurrencies are the same way. But here is a big difference. In cryptocurrency, you can buy into a lot of startups and things really, really, really early on. Traditionally, in markets, that is reserved for accredited investors. And in America, you either have to have the certification as an accredited investor, or you have to get it through one avenue, or you have over $1 million in your bank account and you can apply to be an accredited investor. That allows you to access things like venture capitalism and stuff, where you get the opportunity to buy things extremely cheap when companies are looking for funding. Well, most of people here in America are completely shut out of that. They don't get the ridiculous deals and devaluation places. They don't get to buy things at dirt cheap like a lot of these big accredited investors get to buy it at dirt cheap, right? Before it even goes on the stock market. Here in crypto, a lot of times you're able to actually partake in the launch of a coin and actually capture value the same way that the very ultra rich people have been doing for pretty much the last 150 years here in America. And so that is a big part of what people love about crypto, is the playing field is leveled a little bit, right? They have the opportunity to take part and buy something in the early days, in a seed run, when it's whitelisted. You might not understand those terms, but that is another big part of it. Just like I said in the talking points, it's multifaceted, right? Yeah, Tesla, for example, they give us cars. Right, exactly. But a lot of people bought the stock when it was very new, and they weren't producing the amount of cars that they were producing. They believed he was going to produce enough cars for everybody who wanted one. But the thing is, after all that money has been poured into it, did crypto startups give us any good services? Yeah, XRP is a great service. I keep pointing back to that one only because I hope it's one that you actually know. Bitcoin is a phenomenal product as a store of gold and value. If you know your tokenomics, or basically the math and how much money's in the project and how much scarcity there is, Bitcoin's gonna go up over time. It's gonna fluctuate, but you notice it doesn't go back down to $1,000, does it? It keeps going up, and it keeps hitting new all-time highs. And when it hits an all-new-time high and it pulls back, it doesn't pull back as far as it did the last time it hit an all-new-time high. You see what I mean? And it's going to continue to go up in value. If we got zero goods and services from crypto startup, tinfoil, I don't think you understand the value of a digital service. Like, I just feel like everything you're saying is things in the real world, like cars, are real value, and things on the internet are not real value. That's what I'm getting from most of your argument. All right. What is going on here with my other people? Doesn't seem like a good investment. Hey, then don't buy any. Had him stunned. LOL. He was like too risky. I was like, yeah, so was putting money on a debit card. Now you have to do it to pay bills. People didn't want to use laptops, text either. Exactly. Bankroll gets it. It was scary. Yeah, I mean, a lot of what tinfoil sounds like a 75-year-old man who just doesn't understand like how computers work. And I'm talking about 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Just didn't get how technology was moving forward and how it worked, and he couldn't see the value in the internet. I remember I remember my grandfather talking about when the internet really first came out, how everybody thought it was stupid, and they thought nobody is going to ever choose to go on their computer and shop over going into a physical store and buying things physically. They just couldn't believe that anybody would rather sit on a computer and shop versus going into a brick and mortar store and buying stuff. They didn't understand. Online, I have access to better prices, more stores, and more items. If I go to a brick and mortar store, I'm extremely limited to whatever they have at that store, or I have to drive to a different store, and I have no real power over getting a better price unless I'm going to drive around every town that's near me. And that's not even a good way to get a better price. I would need to go to like another state to get another price, which you can't just do because you want to buy a lawnmower or with every asset, right? You could do it every once in a while, but you couldn't just do it all the time for everything you need. You're going to travel to all the different states. What if the best price is in India? What if the best price is in Canada? And that's why we have the internet. All right, let's see. But what exactly do you do with the cryptos was my point. They all do different things. That's the point that I keep trying to make. There is no one thing. There's no one thing that they do. They do many different things. You can stake them for, liquidity to earn money. You can use it to move money around. You can buy things with them. You can be involved in the governance of a project like a big company. You could be involved in how it runs itself. Like, there's a lot of different things you can do. Just stick around a little bit, tinfoil hat. Come to a few shows and you might start to get it. Yeah. And if you have more like serious questions, join the Discord. I'm assuming you know what a Discord is and how to do it. It is linked in the top of the chat. Just click on it. It'll expand. You'll see a link there. It says Discord in it. Go join the Discord, and we could have a lot more conversations about these things, because I am genuinely here to help people who don't get it. I saw the flaws in government politics. Yep, we all see the flaws, I think, in government politics in today's day and age. Now, If you're older, when you were younger, a lot of people probably didn't get it. But the younger people of today, especially in America, and I'm just kind of assuming you're in America, we all see big flaws in politics, all right? Hundreds of thousands on gold, silver, and uranium shares. Okay, because you believe that they have value. And you also believe that other people are going to agree in the value that you agree on. I mean, I got lucky timing only. And all y'all be nice to tinfoil. I get what you're saying, underground crypto. I get the difference between cryptocurrencies and proposing different things, but I'm saying nothing has come to, I think he means fruition. And I do like the idea of people being able to give money to startups. I would not say that nothing has come to fruition. I mean, Ethereum is one heck of a network, right? There are so many things built onto Ethereum. I think it's crazy. I think very much what you're saying is like coming into the early days of the internet and saying, there's not a whole lot of stuff on here. I don't really get how this internet could ever be valuable. There's all you got is AOL, right? Like there wasn't a lot of stuff built on the internet in its early years, but it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. They literally call a lot of crypto applications Web3, meaning the internet built on top of the internet. So you're almost witnessing the internet again. Right, you're almost witnessing the age of the internet happening again, but it's called cryptocurrency or Web3. I hope that helps a little bit. There has to be a return on investment. Tinfoil, I know multiple people who are multi-millionaires because of investing in cryptocurrency. So there's definitely some return on investment for sure. All right. I'll subscribe and listen in. Maybe if I'm wrong, I might click. Hey, that's fine. I only recommended the Discord because we have a voice chat in the Discord where it would be easy for us to have a conversation like we were on a telephone and not try to text back and forth or do it, during the show kind of thing. What a weird pop-up. What even is this thing? Go away. Some weird pop-up on the computer. Anyways. We covered our talking points of the day. We've definitely been raising crypto IQs out here. I appreciate it. Awesome if that you subscribed. I appreciate you. I'm glad Tinfoil actually stuck around, had conversations. He didn't just get mad and just leave. And I think that actually, I want to give Tinfoil a little bit of credit here on his, personality because he stuck around. He had conversations. It doesn't mean he agrees with everything that I said all of a sudden, but he's open to learning more. And that's how it starts. It takes some time. It's a brand new asset class in a digital space. It'll take a little bit of time to understand why everybody's so excited about it. Even if you don't agree with it, just try to understand why everybody else is so excited about it or why they believe it has value. Greenfinger says, I get where you're coming from. In the case, we don't receive wages in crypto and the world doesn't run on crypto, but it's a hedge against fiat while government dictates what happens with fiat. And again, another good point there, Greenfingers, is self-custody. I can self-custody my own money legitimately without having a bank involved. Prior to cryptocurrency, the only way you could self-custody your money was if you had cash, right? Or gold bars or something, some kind of form of silver, gold, some kind of asset, or actual dollar bills was the only way you could self-custody. You couldn't self-custody your money the same way that you do in your bank account, right? Which is not self-custody, but I'm just saying like a digital representation of how much money you have. And you could have a very large amount of money in your pocket. Okay, so if you were at your house in the 70s and you were self-custodying your own money, what are you going to have, like $2 million in cash in your house? You can't really put that in your pocket and run out the door if you need to. With cryptocurrency, you could have $1 trillion on a flash drive in your pocket and go get on a plane and go anywhere in the world and still have all your money. That's power. That's power in mobility. It's power in the ability to go anywhere in the world and still have your money. If you have like a lot of gold bugs do, and I'm not against gold, but if you have $100,000 in gold, you're going to pick that up and go live in another country. Like, there's a whole process you would have to go through and get a lot of permission to take $100,000 worth of gold anywhere. No, what would you do? You'd go sell that gold. You'd move to another country. And then what? You buy the gold back and put it in a different safe? It just seems very tedious and a lot of steps involved. I can put my flash drive in my pocket and go anywhere in the world and then pop it out and do whatever, and bam, I can spend my money anywhere in the world. So there's that as well. I always got jokes on decks. What'd he say? All right, cool. Indeed, fam. Yep. Underground taught me a shit ton, man. I appreciate you saying that. Making money while holding my assets in the Flare network. Oh, yeah. I get where you're coming from. Yep, I read that. Printing more or raising rates. They don't have that over Bitcoin and crypto. Yep, that's very true. Dude, he's cool. I like him. He was never nasty, just saying what he thinks. And we welcome that. That's actually what I want. I want people to come in and be a little bit like, I don't know about this crypto stuff, and then take a moment to hear and then see what they think. I don't really care if people agree or don't agree. I just like when people take a moment to hear what is being said out here. I always got jokes on deck. That's where I get my value. It's hilarious. I thought somebody said El Cheeto. I got all excited. I was like, El Cheeto's here? I don't see him. A wise man that is a wizard, actually. I sing the blues in 5 languages. That's my value, bro. Yeah, he really does, actually. Know 5 languages. Bankroll says I got 26K seized on a plane. Well, then you know the power of crypto when it comes to moving money, being mobile with your money. Absolutely. I just figured out you were from St. Louis, Blue. There you go. Yeah, Blues Guy is the Blues Guy in real life, right? Said I unblocked him and gave him props for staying. Hey, I'm glad to see that come around. And what are we rolling into? How long have we been live here? We've been live for 2 hours, just slightly shy of 2 hours. I do want to bounce back to the crypto bubbles for a minute, because I just want to see how is the market doing. It seems like the market was starting to maybe do something. What's the hour looking like? The hour's looking a little red. It comes in waves. It moves like the ocean, up and down and up and down. Where do I want to go from here? That's a good question. Let's talk about MemeX for a minute. I'm rocking with MemeX, even though it's changed a little bit. I'm starting to get a lot more engagement over here on MemeX, like a lot more of actual just different accounts. A lot of it seems like a lot of people trying to like do their own thing, right? Like promote themselves or whatever. I don't know why the homepage isn't loading. There we go. And it is very much like Twitter for meme coins. Absolutely. But it's going well. And I do have to say, let's see. Let's go to my assets. Yo, they gave me $25 worth of somebody's coin. Somebody bought what really cool as a creator on MemeX, when somebody buys your token, they give you the same value of their token, of the person who bought. You get some of their. So I wound up getting, $25, $26. Obviously it fluctuates. I got like $25 of their token because they bought, I guess, $25 of my token. It's pretty cool. I rock with that. a lot. And of course, the staking, I need to actually claim it and restake it, but I don't have any meme core. I burned through all of my the money I had just for transactions. I need to move some more over there. We still got Fogo fishing going on now. We got an update required, huh? Let's do that. Oh, I'm probably signed out of Soulflare. That's what it is. Let's log into that. We got the Brady Bunch. It's hilarious. Just reading over the chat. We kind of like the Bad News Bears, but we making it happen around here. We figure there is enough room in the universe for all of us to get rich and wealthy. Exactly. Once you make money out of crypto, you won't be bothered about any use case. Exactly. There you go. All right, Fogo fishing still going well. Let's see. What do we got? We finally hit 100,000 unprocessed fish. I wonder what that's worth. Let's see. Can I quickly figure out what that's worth? Valiant. Here we are. Let's go to that. This is the main swap exchange over here for Fogo. And we want to flip it USDC, and we want fish. There we go. Here's fish. And let's say you had 100,000. It's worth $3.56. So fish is still falling in price. So my plan for the Fogo fishing is that at some point the value of fish is going to go up. Otherwise, we spent $10 on an experiment here in crypto, and I'm okay with that. Let's play some chainers. Let's go ahead and grab our daily rewards here. And we're hoping to get some more stuff for the farm so we can keep farming. All right, what else am I missing? The mini game. Let's see if we can get a cool NFT. We've done a lot of raising the crypto IQ. It's Monday. I'm going to play a game for a minute just for the heck of it. Get me an additional NFT for my farm, so that I can continue to earn more money here. Bankroll with a super chat. I think that's the first super chat of the night, and we do have a goal of 5 super chats per stream at a $2, starting at a $2 value. And I appreciate you, Bankroll. He's the only one who sent in a super chat today, and that means a lot to me. It means that you value my time that I spend putting together the show, doing the show, any pre-recorded videos, Discord, like all that stuff. When you send a super chat, it says, hey, I value the time that you put in. And no shade for anybody who didn't send a super chat. A lot of you guys send super chats other times. I don't expect people to super chat every single day or anything like that. Just saying that I appreciate it a lot when you do. And I appreciate the team for sure. We are a crypto family here that's just going to continue to grow. And as we grow, I'm going to really rely on everybody who's been here to just be good to the people coming in, the people asking questions. People might get a little bit fired up sometimes in the Discord or wherever. And as long as they're not being nasty, we should do our best to help them. And through that, you're helping your own crypto bags grow because you're onboarding. You are literally, you as by yourself when you're nice to people and help walk them through it versus throwing your hands up in the air and just being frustrated with them, you're onboarding people into crypto right there. And at the same time, the people who are nasty are usually never really listening. So don't waste your time on people who are being nasty. I might go out of my way a little bit more as kind of the leader of this channel. But we all have something to contribute. We all have an experience. We all have a story that led us here into crypto. We all have something probably niched out that we like to do in crypto. Like, I love DeFi gaming. I can't wait for DeFi gaming. Can you imagine what DeFi gaming is going to look like 10 years from now? That gets me so pumped up. Like, I'm ready to play like Grand Theft Auto 6 like on like Ethereum blockchain, right? Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for that. Not that I'm that big on GTA, but just the idea of playing real AAA star games with real monetary value, actually making money and getting cool items and selling them in game and stuff like that. And you got to imagine it'll probably be really rare items in games will probably be more difficult to get if they actually have real value. That makes the game way more fun, because when you finally get one, you know that you really grinded for something that has real value. All right, I just realized that I'm well past 1,000 here. Not a real whole lot of point in playing this game once you get past 1,000. I'm just here to get my free NFT or whatever it is. I don't know if it's an NFT, but it's something. All right, got some pig food for the farm. Back to the farm we go, and that's where we'll just kind of leave that. Now, another thing we were doing, airdrops, right? And we started doing this on Saturday. And I'm going to bring this up. Shout out to NW, who I haven't seen here tonight, but I'm sure he's here with us in heart and spirit, as he's been a huge help on the airdrop side of things. Has anybody checked out the airdrop tab in the Discord? Because basically what I'm going over here is the faucet. And this is for Robinhood, right? This is us trying to get some value from Robinhood airdrop, right? So here's the testnet faucet. Robinhood's going to have its own chain. Hopefully it'll look more like actual gaming and not just versions of Vampire Slayer. You're hilarious. There you go. I'm starting to have a gold mining crew. Anybody want to join? I'm starting a gold mining crew. I'm addicted to this gold rush show. Bankroll. Why you gotta not live near me? I've thought about going out to those rivers and panning for gold so many times. Oh, that shit would be so much fun. Too bad you don't live near me. What is gold mining crew? Like, do we get picks? It's close enough. I assume he means in like rivers, but yeah. My grandma drenched for gold in the woods for 8 months in North Cali. Well, did she find any gold? Yeah, sure, I'm in. I could be the canary in the coal mine. There you go. I sing real nice, real nice. Campster, you're hilarious. Yeah, I need you, man. You'd be perfect for the crew. Hey, I'd be in there. I'd be in there figuring out where all the gold is. I always want to do the river panning. The river panning seems like it makes a lot of sense, especially if you find like a river that comes like out of the earth somewhere. It's got to be bringing up little flakes of gold somewhere, right? Man, I'm not that far from you. Really? Yeah, she found lots of gold, man. Hey, that's what's up. I hope she got rich off that. I mean, you're far enough. I mean, it's not an hour drive. It's a lot of driving. But I come all the way out there and pan some gold with you. Said, bro, no way. I do that for 2 summers now. OMG, no way. Hey, Blues Guy's in. She lived off of it. She was a hippie. There you go. Hey, well, now we're all excited about panning for gold, right? She met Jimi Hendrix, bro. She gave him a belt buckle she made of special rocks. In river, yeah, that's awesome. Bankroll, that's what's up. And Blues Guy says, in the river here, bro. I know all about it. River panning. I love that. We got to do some river panning. We got to figure out if there's any. I don't think there's any gold in rivers in Florida. I don't know, but that's what they say. There's not a whole lot of stuff like that here in Florida. Anyways, so we come over here to the faucet. And is that where we already were? Okay, how come when I went to it again, it's not loading? I don't know about that. Maybe I need to log into my MetaMask. No, we're already logged into MetaMask. I don't know. Let's come back to this one. Send tokens. Verifying your browser. All right, and we're logged in. All right, so we're grabbing testnet tokens, right? And let's see. It says I have $36 in Ethereum testnet tokens, of course. These are not actual tokens. All right, and I'm just going to the airdrop tab, right? And I start right at the beginning. $0 required. Claim testnet token. I went to the faucet. That's the first thing. Buy your hood domain. I did that yesterday. I'll probably buy another one today. Let's do that now. What is this? I think this is it, right? Yep. So this is it. So this is like the name service for Robinhood. Let's see. Can I buy like UGC? Has anybody already bought that yet? I'm sure somebody bought that. It's on Base. I want it on Robinhood though. Yeah, if you do it on Base though, it's gonna cost me actual real money. I'm trying to do Robinhood testnet stuff, right? So let's see. Let's just try like underground. I was just claiming another domain for the heck of it. Should be .hood though. Why is it giving me a bunch of base stuff? Rise testnet, oh, okay, here we are. Switch. Yeah, this is where we should be. There we go. So we will register. We could probably register a couple. What am I mostly doing this for? For transactions. If they look at transactions in order for airdrop, you know, then I want to have been doing something, right? I see why Robinhood didn't come up right away. UGC, underground crypto, is not taken. Hopefully some big company comes out and they want to buy this domain from me like 5 years from now. And I can sell them, you know. I can sell them this domain for millions of dollars. That's the dream. That's the hope. Except for you're in a test net. So when the main net comes out, all of this stuff is going to roll over. We need to go to Alaska. Yeah, there we go. We can pan for crystal methods. Camster, you're hilarious. All our profits will probably go up in smoke. Yeah, you cracking me up. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't think so in Florida. Not that I've heard of. I've looked it up before. I don't think so. The more meth we find, the longer we can continue working, and the broker we will be. We can work for months at a time. No sleep, no days off. Dude made a treasure map from space of a shipwreck. Pretty crazy story. Cam, you are hilarious, bro. Yeah, you are. Thanks for always being here. Are you homeless scanning the sidewalks for crack rocks like in a New Age gold panner? They are so concentrated. They really love what they do. Bro. Yeah. Exactly. And they take little cat naps in one place, right? They don't even stop what they're doing. They just take a cat nap wherever they are. Crackheads are an endangered species nowadays. Yeah, that's true. Now, these fent heads can't even tell you their name exactly, which is good because you probably don't want to know their name and you probably wouldn't remember it anyways. All right, so now we collected some faucet. We claimed some domain names, right, so that we could have our own domain names. Now let's go back. What do we do next? Send GM and collect GM cards on ChainGM.com. I don't know what the heck that is. Let's check that out. On-chain GM, your daily Web3 ritual. The zombies been making a mess all over the streets. Exactly. We thought zombies would stand up and chase you around. Turns out they just stare at the sidewalk. All right, I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to do here. Anybody see Robinhood testnet? I guess we're going to have to search it, right? Search your network. Let's say Robinhood. There it is. Bang. GM and deploy. I have no idea what this is. I wish NW was here to help us. What is GMing? I don't really get it. You just connect and it automatically sends like a GM every morning. So it's basically like farming engagement, I guess. I don't know. This is weird. Yep, MetaMask will connect. Bang, bang, bang. GM on Robinhood. I don't know what's going on here anymore. Okay, it's all testnet money anyways. I'll approve it. GM successfully sent on Robinhood chain testnet. I mean, GM stands for good morning, right? I haven't completely lost it yet, have I? You earn automatically from every friend's GM. I don't know what's going on. But the basis with anything when it comes to a testnet is just to have like a bunch of transactions, right, going on during, because they're going to look at who's the most active. And what way is there to look at who's active on a blockchain other than actual transactions that go through the chain, right? That seems to me like what's going on. What is Camsta talking about in here? I don't know if I want to know. All right, bedtime for me, boys. Dude, a homeless person in LA asked to use my phone. Camsta, have a good night, man. Thank you for being here. Always appreciate you, man. Said I let them. They literally called. They plug. Exactly. Why'd you let them? Trying to be nice. Yep. I would never, ever. Lesson learned. Well, I mean, it's bad, but it could have been worse. At least he gave it back. Faith in drug addicts restored. Did you think he would call his mother? Campsta's got a point. Who did you think he was going to call? Dude, you know that game with the little balls and the 3 cups? They move it under and you try to pick which one. Yeah, exactly. Man, I got hit hard on that scam. Lost like $1,500. Dang, don't play those games, bro. There's not games you want to play. I feel like that's been a scam since like the Roman Empire or maybe earlier. I feel like you should have saw that one coming. So you can only GM like once every 21 hours, I guess. What is deploy though? I don't know what deploying is. This is something I need to talk to my guy NW about here, who turned us on to this, because I have absolutely no idea what the heck this is about. I like that it's testnet though, so I don't actually. What did I do? Contract deployed on Robinhood chain testnet. I deployed a contract, guys. I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. What kind of contract did I just deploy? Share your link and both you and your friends win automatically. Automatic rewards, instant savings, no claiming needed. All right. I'm going to probably... Oh, wait. What am I doing? That was not what I was trying to do. So how do I share it with people then? I just want to copy it. Copy hash? I don't know. It says share it with people and we all can earn, but I don't know what this is. Anybody know what the heck this thing is? All right. Good night, Campsta. Thank you for being here. It says, bro, I know, but they suckered me and knew it so good, I swear. I'm sure they did. I'm sure that they are absolute pros. So you can GM people, or you can GM on networks. Is that good morning, or is that you're the game master? I'm going to go with game master. This is an easy way to find things that are on testnets, though, right? And so we're going to be trying to get some airdrops, right? Now that somebody has really taught us how to do it. Deploy a smart contract. Deploy. Okay, so we did that. Mint Robinhood badge. That's what we need to do next. I think that's in the same place, right? Badges. All right, let's see. Let's use the web address they gave us. That was... What is this? Back up. Back up. So it says deploy a badge. Here we go. So we can mint a badge. Didn't we just choose the network? What is it doing to me here? Okay. Here we are. So follow. Okay, complete these tasks. So we need to follow on X. Typical stuff here. Follow. Go back. Join the Discord. I did want to join the Discord anyways, so I'm cool with that. And we got to verify. All right. All they can see is your server and your avatar, username. This is typical verification. No, I do not want premium. All right. So we're verified now on the server. And if we go back here, get rid of all of these things and keep going. They just want you to follow a bunch. They're just getting like a bunch of follows for all their different pages here. I rock with it. If all I got to do is click follow on some people, I can unfollow them after I mint it. Also, it kind of gives me a little bit of an insight into some of these people who are affiliated. I like this one. This is the Airdrop Ninja News. If he's legit, I'm assuming he's legit because he's actually like working with Robinhood. This thing is cutting. I loaded it up because it's new, but the money just doesn't hold up. I'd be good if at least it gave me my money's worth. I'm going to farm as much of it as I can until the 25th of this month. Season 1 started an hour ago. That was on February 21st. Into Dream Cash app. Backed by Tether Investment. Gonna pump up the volume. Okay. And then there's a bunch of links. I like this one. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna save this guy. I love One Tab. If you don't know about One Tab and the Google Chrome extension, I don't know what you're doing with your life, to be honest with you. All right, so now that happened. Now we can go mint our badge. It just says that we did what they wanted us to do. All right. Bang, we minted a badge. I don't know. I don't think we can mint it every day or anything, right? I think that's like a one-time deal. Yeah, 100% scam. Camps, I thought you was going to bed. No, I'm just kidding. You should stay here. Bro, I knew that they suckered me in so good. Oh, okay. I thought this was all new chats. I guess the chat hasn't been running. Man, we had a great stream tonight on a Monday. I did not know. You never know. You have to keep showing up in this YouTube game because you never know when you're just going to have a really great night. We had like 30 people on at one point. It was kind of crazy. But the back end of YouTube's always a little off on what they like give me credit for. Wow. Says this is where they be tripping, all right? They say that the most viewers we had at any one point was 16. Oh, no, that's current viewers. But what's the all-time? All right, I'll look at this stuff later. I know y'all don't care about it. We had 243 views tonight. That's pretty good compared to a lot of stuff. You would think crypto was coming back strong with those kind of numbers. All right, so let's continue our airdrop series here. And deploy a smart contract, Robinhood mint badge, explore the chain. So I guess that's where we go from here. I'm going to have to talk to NW. I can't wait to see NW come through here. This is later, Cam. Plague Dog's just really become such a regular here, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And how many other people are interested in trying to get an airdrop for Robinhood testnet, right? For Robinhood chain that they're putting out. The reason why I think that Robinhood could be good, one, I think you're going to have a lot of people involved in it, so that might hurt your gains. But at the same time, how many people are going to be consistent doing it? And also, you know, Robinhood's got some money, right? Like they could put out a hefty amount of money for their airdrops, right? It could be pretty good versus like a new startup company blockchain. They might not have a lot of money. Like they might not be able to put out a lot of money for their airdrops. If Robinhood doesn't put out a decent amount of money for their airdrops, then they just being stingy. I said, I want to farm more airdrops. A dude in my old group was cooking on them. Hey, bankroll, here we are, man. We are getting set up. That's what I've been doing. Getting set up here to basically farm Robinhood. We made domain names and GM'd and made badges and all kinds of stuff on the chain. And I got to talk to NW a little bit more about what I should be doing every day consistently. This is the Explorer for the testnet, right? I don't think that it helps you actually explore, but maybe it does. Yeah, GM cards, on-chain, GM, Robinhood badge. Skateboards. The heck is skateboards? Daydream. So there's people on here like minting. Okay, people minting their own coins, I guess. That's pretty cool. It's all testnet, so I don't think any of this will ever come back over. 98% block index. We're indexing this chain right now. Some of the counts may be inaccurate. Yep, it's very new, right? Okay, that's the block explorer, I guess, if you want to see your transactions, if they go through or don't go through. And with that, everybody, we've been live for 2.5 hours. Thank you for participating. Thank you for raising your crypto IQ. Watch the podcast on Robinhood, dude. He's on the Robinhood, dude. He's cool. Okay, bankroll. Throw me a link. Can you send me a link in DM on Discord to whatever you're talking about the podcast on Robinhood? I would love to see that. So shout out to everybody who's being here. We did our due diligence. We went over what's trending. We had a great conversation with Tinfoil Hat. We raised our crypto IQ. I read you your crypto bedtime story. That's why Cam still was able to go to sleep so quickly. And yeah, and we've gone over some airdrop and some testnet. I'll be back tomorrow, so don't you worry. I will see everybody again tomorrow. We will go into the next episode in our series. It's Monday. Can't stop, won't stop. Stay underground. Stay crypto. Thank you for being here, Crypto Ron